sad, tiring, stressful. So I actually had two eating disorders. I had anorexia nervosa. So, and I think there's a lot of misconception of what anorexia is. People just assume, oh, if you're really skinny, you're anorexic. No, you could have anorexia nervosa and you could be a perfectly fine body weight. It's the fact that you're not letting yourself eat, you're not eating a certain amount and stuff. After that, I had binge eating disorder, which is a little less uncommon. You don't really hear about it. It's like when you will start to eat a lot of things all at once, and that was, I think, if anything, harder to deal with than anorexia nervosa, because at least with anorexia nervosa, I felt good about my body and stuff, or I would have certain things that I would be proud of, but with binge eating, I just felt really guilty all the time. Well, mine kind of started out not bad. I was just curious to keep track of how much I ate and stuff, because I was really literally I was curious, how many calories do I consume a day? And then I just kind of got into this habit of keeping track of every single thing I ate, and I realized, oh, I actually don't eat that much. It wouldn't be that hard to eat a little less. So I started obsessing over it and keeping track of every little thing, and I think the biggest factor that contributed was just that I'm a perfectionist and I'm a type A personality, so that really came through with my eating disorder. And I guess I felt there's a lot of things in my life that I couldn't control, but this was one thing I found very easy to control, and I obsessed over it. Recovering from it was really difficult because I then started to have binge eating disorder, where I would go a whole day eating a proper amount, not an eating disorder amount, but a proper amount, having maybe 1,000 calories, and then at nighttime I would just go crazy and eat everything in the house, and then I'd, cry about that because I couldn't stop eating everything in the house because I had deprived my body for so long of sugars and things like that. So anytime I had one little sweet item, I would go crazy and start eating everything in the house, eat things that I didn't even like, and I just felt like I had no control over what my body wanted to do. I really realized that I had an eating disorder was when I was Googling. I realized I hadn't gotten my period for a couple months. At first I didn't notice, a month goes by and you don't really think about it, and then a couple months go by and you realize, oh wow, that's weird. So I was Googling it, and obviously it was related to being malnourished and stuff, but then I read there's one statement oh, you might never be able to have babies and stuff if you don't have your period. And I was I didn't like the fact that I was doing something to my body, not that necessarily that I want kids or anything, but I didn't like that I was being told that I couldn't have kids. I wanted to get control back over my life. I would tell them to not be so negative about it. I remember I at one point thought, okay, I'm never going to get over this, because it took about 2 years to fully get over it. For 2 years, anytime I looked at a food item, I would think about how many calories in it, because I had everything memorized. So I would tell them to just know that one day you can fully get over it. Now I eat food and I enjoy food and I don't think about it all the time. So I just tell them to stay positive. I don't think there should be such a big stigma around it. I don't get why people don't want to talk about it. I feel like people sometimes get uncomfortable that I'm so open about mine, and I don't get upset and emotional when I talk about it, but it's because I've dealt with it, and I think it's okay to talk about it. I think people should be more open about it, and I think I know so many people who have gone through it, so I don't see why people aren't willing to be more open about it. I definitely think organizations like that can be effective and help individuals. Some people don't like dealing with things on their own. They like to deal with it in a group setting, so I see how that would be very useful. I had a friend approach me who asked me to go with her to some meetings and stuff for eating disorders, and I was really happy that she asked me to go with her because she knew that I had dealt with one. So I definitely see a good purpose in that.
I see the biggest problem in current treatments is cohesion, a consistent approach, an amalgamation of approaches. You have too many people that are operating in silos, from the big organizations and programs to the little person in the local community. There's not enough exchange of information. There's not enough sharing of information. And I think there's not enough, monies dedicated to helping them.